on Stampede TV.
That big party information for this year, a look at new podcasts popping up around campus, and a sports roundup.
These stories and more coming up next on Stampede TV.
Although that big party isn't until the end of the semester, SGA has been busy with preparations. Reporter Pablo Rivas sat down with SGA President Chase McGlamory to get details about the dance and the senior banquet.
It's about that time of year in the spring semester when Milligan students start looking forward to spring formal, or better known as that big party, with seniors and their guests also participating in the senior banquet. With the new year comes new changes to the formal, the biggest being the change of venue. That big party will be held this year at Grace Meadows Farm in Jonesboro, with 2 separate rooms hosting each event. The banquet will start at 5:30 p.m., with food being catered by Grace Meadows, with that big party following the banquet starting at 7:30 p.m. SGA President Chase McGlamory has more on ticket information.
Also new this year is we will be charging for tickets for additional guests. Seniors, of course, will get in free, but because of the venue charges and some charges related to the food, we are charging $10 a ticket for everyone's guests. Every senior can bring one additional guest. It doesn't matter who that is, but their ticket will be $10. And also because it is off campus, the dance underclassmen will also have to pay a ticket fee of $10. And basically there'll be an email sent out here soon where seniors can register for the banquet, and essentially they don't have to pay at that time, but the week leading up to the dance and the banquet, there'll be a table set up in Sutton Lobby that they can purchase their tickets, and that's where they'll actually get their physical ticket. And that same week is when underclassmen and people just going to the dance can also pick up their tickets.
Senior class president Hannah Nelson has more information on the senior banquet schedule and speakers.
We're going to have dinner, like a really nice dinner that's catered by the venue, and then during dinner we're going to hear from 4 senior speakers, including myself, Chase McGlamory, the SGA president, and Elise Green's going to give the prayer, and Pablo Rivas is also going to speak. And then Rich Aubrey is our keynote speaker, and he will be speaking as well. And then after dinner, we're going to have dessert in the dining room. And then after we leave the dining room, we're going to go out to a ballroom aside from the dining room and have dancing and just a night full of fun, just as seniors, and then the whole campus will join us at the ballroom.
McGlamory also weighed in on the dance theme this year.
In years past, we've always done a theme with that big party, but it was kind of landed on in one of our meetings that we're not going to really push a theme this year. It's more of just a formal black tie event, classy, just a night to be with your friends and enjoy. I think I speak for all of SGA when I say that we're looking forward to this event and can't wait to see what happens.
Photographers will be at the event, and a link will be shared after the event for students to access the photos from the evening for free. This is Pablo Rivas with Stampede TV.
Again, that big party will be on April 8th, with the senior banquet held beforehand. Tickets for underclassmen and outside guests will cost $10 and go on sale the week before the dance.
Looking for something new to listen to? Podcasts are popping up all around campus. Pablo spoke to Professor Brad Ward, who hosts Business Sense with Brad.
Dr. Brad Ward is Milligan's MBA director and an associate professor of business administration in Milligan's business department. Usually you can see him attending meetings or teaching business classes, but in addition to that, he also hosts his own podcast called Business Sense, or BS, with Brad.
We take a look at the different elements of business, so everything from employee psychology to supply chain management. We're getting into cryptocurrency, and we want to take different looks at business that are more, I hate to say holistic, but it's not just simply stock market or how do you improve, increase profits or something.
His various guests include Milligan business professors like Dr. David Campbell and Dr. Crystal Dove. He also had pro cyclist, Olympic bronze medalist, and Milligan student Megan Jastrib, and he also had Tom Morton, the Senior Vice President of Global Supply Chain and Quality at Eastman Chemical Company. His goal for the podcast isn't profit-based, but rather for it to be a vessel for personal reflection and deeper understanding of ideas.
The interview style really helps me as far as helps me understand things. If I have an idea and someone either corrects me or expounds upon it, then I'm learning as well. So it's actually been a huge learning experience for me. I had no idea how to mine Bitcoin before the first podcast, and now I'm like, okay, I got a decent understanding of how the blockchain works and what mining is. I still don't want to mine, but I feel a lot more confident in like, okay, I understand what cryptocurrency generally is, so I learned quite a bit from it myself. So,
Podcasting has become more popular in the Milligan community. Seniors Ethan Pfister and Samir Coco recently started a podcast called Getting In or Getting Gone, with guests being students and friends.
It's fun. And we kind of just talk about whatever. Kind of started as sports, maybe music, culture, stuff of that nature.
For their last semester before they graduate, their goal is to just have
I
fun.
would say the goal for both of us is just to have a good time with it. We're in our last semester of school, so just something to keep us busy and just enjoy while we're here.
Business Sense with Brad is available on all podcast platforms, and Getting In or Getting Gone is available on Spotify. The Stampede also has our very own podcast, The Roundup. The Roundup can be heard on all podcast platforms Mondays at 9 a.m. for a quick look at what's happening on campus each week.
Family Weekend took place last weekend with Milligan welcoming parents and siblings to campus to experience all East Tennessee has to offer. Reporter Thomas Moore has more.
Family Weekend was held February 11th through the 13th. The event included a variety of activities aimed at bringing students and their families together. Things kicked off on Friday with a trivia night themed around February events such as Valentine's Day and Black History Month. Then on Saturday, around 100 students were recognized at the Dean's List ceremony, where they received certificates for their outstanding academic achievement. I was able to speak with junior Catherine Eldridge, one of the students who received recognition at the ceremony.
Oh, for me, it's an honor. I've definitely say it's an honor. It's also a kind of a perseverance thing that you've worked hard enough with your grades that you are keeping up, and that you are being honored for that and recognized for that, and you get to do that with your friends.
On Saturday afternoon, the women's tennis team played against Brunel, and the men and women's basketball teams played against Montreat in conference games. Things wrapped up on Sunday with additional sporting events after students and their families attended local church services. Director of Campus Activities Brielle Davis shared her insight on the organization and planning that goes into this event.
For Family Weekend, we typically try to host just one campus activities event. So this year we had Family Night Trivia. And then aside from that, we try to just allow space for families to do activities together either on or off campus. So we host the one campus activities event, and then we have a bunch of other athletic events that go on throughout the weekend. Typically our basketball and spirit team senior nights. It's dependent on athletic schedules. And so we look ahead to see when we'll get those basketball schedules of when they plan to have their senior nights. And then that's kind of what determines when that weekend is, but it's typically in early mid-February.
This has been Thomas Moore with StampedeTV.
Thanks, Thomas.
Last week also saw the first open mic night of the semester. Reporter Elijah Manship went to take a look.
I'm Elijah Manship with StampedeTV. On February 8th in Lower Seeger, Milligan's Campus Activities Board hosted the first open mic night of the spring 2020 semester. Open mic night featured performances by Audrey Nakoff, Joseph Dykes, Joey Falcone, and more. The audience was delighted to hear a wide range of music featuring everything from sea shanties to video game music to pop hits like Adele. I got an interview with Travis Kiker, a member of Weimer's Bait and Tackle, and asked him how their performance went.
So our group was Weimer's Bait and Tackle, named courtesy of Judah Cooper. So shout out to Judah, and we performed Vicky by Peach Pit. I think it went great. Practices were a little sketchy early in the week. They got gradually better as we went along. We felt pretty good going into it, and I think on our end at least we felt like we delivered.
I also had the chance to interview Campus Activity Board Director Brielle Davis about the event. She said it went well even though they had to put a hold on it for a few years, and she was thankful for the great acts and the great audience. Donuts and coffee were served to the students who attended, and around 50 students in total showed up for the event. Campus Activities Board plans to hold another open mic night the night of March 29th. I'm Elijah Manship with StampedeTV.
Thanks, Elijah. The next open mic night is March 29th, so mark your calendars.
Milligan's graduate degree program is growing. A new Master of Arts in Coaching and Sports Management will be available for students next fall. The program is spearheaded by Dr. Tony Rango, Associate Professor of Exercise Science. This new 2-year program will require 36 credit hours and is designed for students interested in pursuing leadership roles and collegiate athletics. Dr. Rangel said, not only do many current athletes see themselves as coaches one day, but there is an attractiveness for business-minded individuals to consider using their skills in the athletic venue. Students from any undergraduate discipline can apply.
In sports last week, baseball beat WVU Tech in a doubleheader Monday, as well as Bob Jones in another doubleheader on Saturday. Softball beat Alice Lloyd in a doubleheader on Wednesday, and women's basketball beat Reinhardt 75-69, Montreat 83-75, St. Andrews 92-36, and Point 68-54. Men's basketball lost to Reinhardt 93-66, Union 78-60, and Montreat 71-63, but they beat St. Andrews on Sunday 107-79. Women's tennis lost their spring opener to Bernal 5-2, and cycling excelled at their season opener, winning the women's A road race and criterium as well as the men's A criterium. And congratulations to Milligan's swim team, who swept the Appalachian Athletic Conference Championships, scoring 8 wins out of 12 titles.
Coming up in sports this week, baseball faces off against CIU, Bluefield, and Bryan, and softball plays Indiana South Bend and Lawrence Tech. Men and women's basketball play Johnson. Men's volleyball plays Midway, and men's tennis plays Pikeville. Track and field competes at the AAC Indoor Track and Field Championships Thursday and Friday. I'm Rebecca McNerney for the Stampede TV.
And I'm Sarah Owens for Stampede TV. For the latest news, visit us online at milliganstampede.com. Tune into the Roundup, our weekly podcast, or check us out on social media. Be sure to join us for our next newscast on March 3rd, and thanks for watching.